Aaron Whitlow,
Brandon Spivey, and we are the Markout Movie Podcasters.
and we're in person together. In a long time, hadn't done it in a long time together. But we're
Been over a year, I think.
over a year, yeah. Since the pandemic, I guess, right?
I was after that.
But this time right now, we're doing our best and our worst lists with our 10 worst first. And so, you ready?
I'm very ready.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, how are we doing this? One at a time? Or?
Yeah, one at a time since it's just...
Number 10, a Netflix original starring Adam Sandler, Spaceman.
That movie was terrible. It didn't make my list. I forgot that it even existed.
See?
Yeah, it was terrible.
This is why you should put everything you watch on Letterboxd. So
I did. I think I put it on there. I think I did, but I just didn't.
You didn't check your Letterboxd?
I did, but I didn't check it well.
Clearly.
Yeah.
That movie was really terrible. It was, I would say, the most boring Adam Sandler film I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hoping the next one is not.
Which would be Happy Gilmore?
Two, yeah.
All right. Number 10 for me, it's going to be controversial, but Nosferatu.
Wow.
Maybe.
When did it take its place? What took its place? What was number 10 before? Because you just saw that yesterday.
Yeah, I just...
Unless you...
No, I just did my list today.
Oh, okay.
So that... It's not a bad movie. It's well acted, well directed. Visually, it's nice, but it's just for me. It was too long, and also, I watching the movie. It reminded me how much I hated Bram Stoker's Dracula. So I started thinking, oh man, I can't believe I'm watching this because it's essentially Bram Stoker's Dracula, but just with Max Orlok. Well, the story behind the Nosferatu is the guy that wrote the movie. It did the adaptation. He did an unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Bram Stoker's widow sued him and won, and asked for every print of the movie Nosferatu back in 1922 or whatever to be destroyed. But there's like one that was still left, and that's the 1922 version that everybody sees. But yeah, that's why it's so similar to Dracula, because it's essentially a ripoff of Dracula.
I wonder how well it's going to do. The box office. Was there a lot of people there?
Oh, it was a lot of people there. Some people probably liked it. I just didn't like it.
I mean, it's got a great score on Letterboxd.
Johnny Depp's daughter stars as the main lady. I didn't know that's his daughter. Yeah. All right.
Number 9 for me. A movie I thought I would really enjoy, but it just didn't work for me. And that was Lisa Frankenstein. I didn't have fun watching it. I thought I would because it reminded me of My Boyfriend's Dead or something like that.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
In the 90s.
Very similar concept. I couldn't get into it, and I was pretty bored watching that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just wasn't for me, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. It's not for you. It's not for me. I didn't like it either. I totally hated it.
Did you? A lot of people like it.
Yeah. I didn't totally. I guess I didn't totally hate it. I seen what it was trying to do, but it just. Yeah.
I like the girl too.
Yeah, I like her. She was in a much better movie later on.
Yeah, she's gonna be one of my best films of the year.
Number 9 for me is I Saw the TV Glow. That
I didn't put it. I wanted to. I really was bored watching that movie.
I was bored.
But I didn't. It didn't make my list.
Yeah, I know what they're trying to do as far as like the idea of like fandom for like say Buffy and shows like that in the 90s, and what if we take it seriously? But I just thought it got muddled, and I just at the end of the day I was just bored watching it, and at the end I was like, what even was this? And that's how I felt. I was like, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I concur with you.
Mm-hmm.
We agree on that. Number 8 for me was a shark film that was released this year. I don't know what it was released on. I saw it on one of the streaming apps. Don't remember. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Something in the Water. It's about 4 females One of them's getting married, and it's just they decide to go out. I think it was jet skiing, but I'm not 100% sure. And they get a shark. Like, it gets attracted to him, and it was just pretty boring. Nothing exciting happened.
Yeah.
The characters weren't fun either. I mean, they were bickering all movie.
You know? Yeah, I didn't watch that one. I'm okay with it.
But it's a shark movie. I feel like
I know you're obligated. You had a few shark movies actually this year. All right, number 8 for me is Jackpot, with John Cena, and Aquafina. I felt like it wasn't terrible. I'm kind of over John Cena as an actor. I feel like this was probably his best role that he's done in a long time. But maybe it's because I'm not a big fan of Aquafina. I think she's one note.
She's hit and miss for me.
Yeah.
But I will talk about Jackpot later because it's on one of my lists.
Okay.
What was that, number 8?
Yep.
Okay, number 7 is a Sony Marvel movie that came out earlier this year. I didn't watch it in theaters, but I did catch it on Netflix like in November. Madame Web.
I forgot about that, but see, it's terrible.
I didn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not know what universe this was in. You got Uncle Ben. He's young. You got spoilers. Peter gets born. It was just all over the place, and it didn't. It just. I don't know if this is the Venom universe. I don't know if it's Andrew Garfield's universe. I feel like Uncle Ben came more off like Andrew Garfield's Uncle Ben to me.
I feel like it might be it.
But it was just all over the place. The villain was terrible. The girls had no structure. I didn't care about it because the story didn't call it for us to care. It was just rushed.
Yeah,
and it had some good actors in it. It's disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's number 7 for me.
All right. Number 7 for me is Subservience, with Megan Fox. Is it Megan Fox?
She's a robot, right?
Yeah, she's a robot. Listen, her movie a couple years ago, Till Death, was great. And that's probably one of the best movies I've seen was it last year? Or a year before that? Maybe,
I think it was 2022.
Yeah,
I didn't see it till last year, but
it was a good movie. But this movie, I just feel like, with a lot of AI themed horror, it felt well under. Like, I didn't put this on my list, but I thought Afraid was better than this, and I didn't really like Afraid either, but I thought it was better.
I haven't heard really anything about Afraid, other than it came out and no one went and seen it, and it was gone like in a week.
Yeah.
But
poor Kumar, Harold. he can't catch a break, can he?
Well, if he did more comedy, I think he would. I think that's what people like him.
Yeah. He, like, the last 2 movies I've seen him in, both bombed. I think the Grudge remake, that was a bomb. I think this movie was a bomb. So yeah.
Of course, I still haven't seen that one movie about his missing daughter.
Oh, that was a good movie.
I saw the sequel. I liked the sequel.
Yeah, the sequel wasn't bad. It wasn't as good as the first one. But
yeah.
All right.
Number 6 for me is a Hulu original. And maybe it shouldn't be on here, but I just did not like it. Carved.
Don't pay attention to my dogs, by the way.
It could have been fun, but ultimately I just had a pretty horrible time with Carved.
Yeah. Carved was. Well, I'll talk about it because
it's on your list.
Yeah. Number 6, movie I just recently watched with Nicole Kidman. It's called Baby Girl, and it's getting Oscar buzz for her performance and stuff. But I just felt it was boring.
And Nicole.
Yeah. I just wasn't really like engaged by it. I thought, like, I'll tell you the truth. There's a few movies that's Oscar buzzed, and I just didn't like. I didn't like Brutalist. I didn't like. There's another one I think that's getting a lot of buzz. Queer, maybe. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I didn't like it as much as like other movies I saw. But It's just
Like it.
just because it's an Oscar buzz, don't mean I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I'm gonna. Just if it ain't good, it ain't good to me.
I mean, Oscar buzz isn't really anything to get excited about.
Yeah, I agree.
Not today. I mean, number 5 for me was a movie I was initially excited for. It was a horror movie. It was a slasher. The Strangers, Chapter 1. Rennie Harlan returns to horror, and he shouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to the entire trilogy. I will watch it, but I'm not looking forward to it. I'm very concerned about the shark movie he's doing. But it was basically a remake of the original, but no intensity, no suspense. Just the girl from Riverdale not fighting back. That couple didn't fight. It wasn't like the original Liv Tyler and Scott Speakman, I think.
Yeah.
They fought.
Yeah,
And
I never
this couple
seen it.
didn't.
I was
Really,
I was through with Strangers since like Strangers Pray at Night. I thought that it wasn't bad. It was kind of a ode to slashers, but
It wasn't The Strangers either.
Yeah.
It was a generic slasher.
Yeah.
That
just
the
happened to be
director
strangers.
Was trying his hardest to rip off John Carpenter shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you talking about the new Strangers movie?
No, the Pray at Night.
Pray at Night. Okay.
The way he shot, I thought Carpenter directed it, but I knew Carpenter wouldn't direct that.
Number 5 for me is Your Monster. I know you liked it.
Oh
no! I know you liked it.
Oh, it's on my best films of the year,
Yeah,
man.
I just felt I was more bored with it. And then at the end, I kind of was like, "Wait, what's happening?" Like I said, how I felt. I think I understand what happened. Like as far as who the monster is to her. But it was cute. I like her, and I hope
great.
that she continues to act.
She's
and do
in
things.
my top films of the year twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, wow.
Yep.
We'll talk about it. I mean, number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Borderlands.
I didn't
one
watch
of the worst video game adaptations I've seen in a long time. It brought it whatever they were doing to succeed. I know Sonic 3 came out. Apparently it's really good, but Borderlands made video game adaptations go back down to the level of Double Dragon, Super Mario Brothers, stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, number 4 for me. I just edited and took off The Beast Within because I didn't really honestly finish it. I was bored by it and cut it off, and I put on Time Cut.
Time Cut.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah. I didn't like it. I thought that Totally Killer did it better and was actually more entertaining, and so it's pretty much the same concept, but just like even down to the mask, it's like literally kind of the same. But I think Totally Killer is actually a pretty stellar little slasher.
I see your issue with it is my issue with Totally Killer. Not that it's a bad movie, but I felt that it was ripping off. What was that movie that came out?
The Valentine.
No.
Not Scream, but
no.
Oh, the one with the like Happy Death Day.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Yeah, it pretty much is that.
So I probably would hate. What was this called?
Time Cut.
I probably would hate it.
Yeah, it just didn't nothing to really explain. It's just, and then like who the killer is. You know because you see him. Well, you see this person in things, and you know how his character typically is, and so it's kind of, but that's my Time Cut.
Number 3 for me was it's not fair, but you should make this crap. It's a slasher movie with Mickey Mouse, the Mousetrap. Literally nothing about this movie was good until like the last shot of the movie. I know it's getting a sequel. It's gonna be Mickey and Minnie. But it was just really bad. Now maybe they can turn it around like Honey. I don't know, Honey, but Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey too. Yeah.
Not that that's a great movie, but Winnie
a
the
better
Pooh
movie than the
was
first
always
one.
much better than the
Yeah.
first. Winnie the Pooh was like Jason, and I was there for that. Like the story's, it's beyond bonkers, but it's
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, people are actually excited about these movies though.
Yeah. Oh, don't open that door, hun. Don't go in there. All right. She's doing it anyway. Don't let the dogs out. All right. Number 3 for me is Tarot. I thought it was Tarot Bow. Is what I called it on the letterbox. I thought it was a cut by the numbers, like a little horror PG-13 type of movie that is so forgettable. Yeah, it just like horror didn't start out on the right foot. This year I felt like it did.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of misses. I agree with you though. Tarot was a bad horror film. It felt like it should have came out in the early 2000s. I was into it until I think the train scene. Then it came, as you said, by the numbers, slasher, PG-13. Hated the ending. Hated everything after that train scene. So, yeah. That was your number 3?
Yep.
All right, number 2 for me is a Netflix original Christmas movie. I mean, most of them are bad. But this one just was, like, extremely bad for me. Meet Me Next Christmas with Christina Milian, I think is her name. She meets this guy, and she's got a boyfriend, and they kind of hit it off. And like, well, we'll meet next Christmas if we're both single. Who does that?
Yeah, it's cliche, for sure.
Yeah, and the boyfriend ends up cheating on her. She meets this other guy and gets to know her like in a day, and they fall in love, and she still wants to meet this other guy. It's just, it's Christmas trash from Netflix.
Christmas trash. I love it. Number 2 is higher on my list than yours. Is Carved. I just hated my time watching Carved. I just thought it was just like, I was gonna put Janet Planet, but it was just so utterly boring. I couldn't even put it on the list. But but Carved had chops. Like, it had people in there that you wanted to see, but to be good. But it wasn't. It was just terrible. And compare that to like the Mr. The other guy. Crockett, yeah, which was a better movie. It didn't make my list.
It didn't make mine either.
But yeah.
I mean, it definitely did make number 1. I mean, number 1 special place in my heart.
In bad or
in bad.
Okay.
Special place in my heart.
I can't wait to hear it.
Number 1 for me. Initially, I was excited before I saw a trailer. I was excited for this. It was a remake of literally one of my favorite, comic book adaptations. Bill Skarsgård's the guy. I'm like, okay, I like him. He's cool. Then I see the trailer to The Crow.
I forgot about The Crow.
And then I watched the movie. Oh, man.
You can't get your time back.
I can't get my time. I'm not even trying to compare to Brandon Lee's version. I mean, there is no comparison. It's nothing like that version. And nothing at all. But it's just, nothing makes any sense, really. And they spend like 45 minutes on this love story that, and it's the honest truth, Brandon Lee and that actress in the original did it better in the minute and a half they had on screen together than this couple did in 45 minutes. And that's sad.
Yeah.
And Danny Houston, is that his name? From 30 Days a Night, the main vampire. He's the villain in this.
Oh.
He was terrible.
Oh.
I love him, but he's terrible in this.
Oh, that's terrible.
There's no redeeming quality for the villains. You remember the original. I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying you remember those guys.
You remember them, yeah. The original was such a cult classic, Plus, obviously, with everything that happened with Brandon Lee. But number 1 for me is Terrifier 3.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I'm not shocked, but I'm shocked because we had a conversation after we both. I did not like. I felt uncomfortable watching it. I feel like I'll be honest with people. You can make fun of me if you want. I felt there was like a demonic presence. While I felt that while I was watching it, and I was like, "That's why I'm done with it. I'm not gonna see the fourth, fifth, whatever, however more they go.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done."
Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like it was just it. For one, there's no need for it to be as long as it is. Art. I like Art as a character, but just like some of the deaths in there are just way grotesque, and then like it was very sacrilegious when it comes to like the cross on the thorns, crown of thorns and stuff, and I just yeah, I'm over it. I'm done with it. Yeah. All right, so that's our top 10 worst list. Give me a moment. We'll come back and we'll do our honorable mentions and our 20 best films.